The legend of the haunted house. The village of Wickenhall was peaceful, but on its outskirts stood an abandoned house that no one dared to approach. Rumors spread that it was haunted. Every night, strange whispers echoed from inside, chilling the bones of anyone who passed by. People said the whispers belonged to Eleanor, a woman who had been wrongly accused of witchcraft and executed in the house over 100 years ago. Her spirit never found peace and wandered the house, searching for justice. Many villagers had their own stories about the house. Some claimed that if you stood near its broken windows at night, you would hear someone calling your name. But those who got too close never returned. Among the curious was a young woman named Lily. She loved mysteries and had always been drawn to the unknown. The stories about the haunted house fascinated her, and she decided to uncover the truth herself. Stepping inside the old house, Lily prepared carefully for her investigation. She packed a flashlight, a camera, and a notebook. As night fell, she slipped out of her house and made her way through the dark forest toward the abandoned mansion. It stood tall and lifeless, its shattered windows like empty eyes staring into the night. A cold wind blew as she stepped through the rusted gate. Inside, the air was thick and heavy, as if the house itself was holding its breath. Dust covered every surface, and the silence was unnerving. The beam of Lily's flashlight cut through the darkness, but every step she took echoed loudly, as if someone else was walking with her. A shiver ran down her spine. Ignoring her fear, she climbed the creaky stairs, determined to explore the second floor, where the whispers were said to be the strongest. Hearing the whispers for the first time. At the top of the stairs, the house felt even colder. Darkness pressed in from all sides. Suddenly, a gust of wind pushed open a door at the end of the hallway. Lily hesitated but stepped inside. The room was frozen in time. Dusty furniture, faded paintings, and a cracked mirror hanging on the wall. Then she heard it. At first, it was a faint murmur, barely a breath. Then it became clearer. A whisper. Lily. Her heart pounded. The voice was soft yet desperate, pleading. She turned quickly, shining her flashlight into the corners of the room, but saw nothing. Cold sweat formed on her forehead. Every instinct told her to run, but curiosity kept her frozen in place. The truth about Eleanor. The whispers grew stronger. They no longer just called her name. They told a story, a tragic one. Eleanor had been innocent, but the villagers had been afraid. She had no trial, no chance to defend herself. She was locked inside this very house, left to die alone. Lily's gaze fell on the cracked mirror. In its reflection, she saw a woman, long, tangled black hair, pale skin, and sorrowful eyes. Eleanor. But when Lily turned around, the figure was gone. A loud crash. The mirror shattered, and from within the wall, an old book tumbled onto the floor. Lily picked it up and flipped through its pages. It was Eleanor's diary, filled with desperate pleas for help, pages soaked in misery. Eleanor had been wrongly accused, but had she been the only one? Confronting Eleanor's spirit, Lily knew what she had to do. She took a deep breath and stood in the center of the room. Eleanor, I know you're here. I want to help you. The whispers stopped. The room fell silent, as if the house itself was listening. Then a soft glow appeared before her. Slowly, Eleanor's ghostly form emerged. Tears filled her sorrowful eyes. Thank you. I can finally rest. Her voice was barely a whisper. A strong gust of wind swept through the room, and Eleanor's figure dissolved into the light. For the first time in over a century, the house was silent. Peaceful. Lily sighed in relief, believing the nightmare was finally over. But she was wrong. The unfinished mystery. As Lily stepped outside, a strange feeling crept over her. Something wasn't right. She turned back, and in the dim light of the moon, saw something that made her blood run cold. A shadow moved in the upstairs window. But Eleanor was gone, wasn't she? A chill spread through her body. If Eleanor's spirit had been freed, then who or what was still inside? Determined to find out, she stepped back into the house. This time, she followed a cold, sinking feeling down to the basement, a place she had not yet explored. The air was damp, the darkness absolute. Against the far wall, she spotted an old wooden chest. Dust covered its surface, but it wasn't locked. With trembling hands, she lifted the lid. Inside, she found faded clothes, old letters, and a small leather-bound journal. As she flipped through the pages, a horrifying truth unfolded. Eleanor had not been alone. She had a sister, the forgotten Sister Margaret. That was her name. Unlike Eleanor, Margaret had not been publicly executed. She had simply disappeared. But the journal revealed the terrible truth. After Eleanor's death, the villagers had locked Margaret in the basement, sealing her fate in darkness and silence. Forgotten by time, she had died alone, her soul trapped in endless torment. Suddenly, the whispers returned. But this time, they were different, angrier, more desperate. A powerful gust of wind slammed the basement door shut behind Lily. The temperature plummeted. A ghostly figure appeared, but it wasn't Eleanor. It was Margaret. Her hollow eyes burned with rage. "You shouldn't be here." Lily's breath hitched. "Margaret, I know what happened to you. You were forgotten, but I can help." The air trembled with Margaret's fury. Her spirit lunged toward Lily, and for a moment, everything went black. Then visions flashed before her eyes. Margaret screaming, trapped in the basement, pounding on the walls until her hands bled. No one had come for her. She had died alone, abandoned. Her pain had turned to hatred. But Lily refused to be afraid. Clutching the journal, she ran out of the basement. She had to tell the truth. True peace at last. By morning, Lily had gathered the villagers. She showed them Margaret's journal, proving that she had existed, that she had suffered. The villagers, ashamed of their past, held a ceremony to honor both sisters. That night, as the village lit candles in their memory, the house finally fell silent. No more whispers, no more restless spirits. As Lily turned away, she thought she heard one final whisper, gentle, grateful. "Thank you."